The United Nations has called for actions around the world to call for the elimination of racial discrimination. It's the International Day for the elimination of racial discrimination today.
When Terrance Briscoe was found dead in the police cell in Alice Springs, it was told to the family originally that he had died of a heart attack. That was then changed and he died of a respiratory problem.
The police said they were going to take him into protective custody. By 2 a.m. he was found dead in a police cell. And now we have eyewitnesses who said that when Terrance was taken into the police station, he got into an altercation with the police, he was thrown on the ground, they sat on top of him, they were laughing. These eyewitnesses say they were laughing as Terrance suffocated there on the floor. He could not breathe. He was on the floor.
6 police against 1.
And when he was picked up off the ground, the eyewitnesses say he was limp. He was like a rag doll. We've got the eyewitnesses, we've got the evidence on his body that he was suffocated, but there has not been a word from the Northern Territory Police, the Northern Territory Government or anyone else about how this young man died. And now they're trying to say it was alcohol poisoning. It's an indictment of the system. You can have eyewitnesses saying they saw this guy suffocated. You can have evidence on his body that he was suffocated, and they can continue to play the racist card about it's just another drunk Aboriginal person, forget about him. Well, we're not going to forget about him. We're going to continue to fight until there's justice for the Briscoe family.
Aboriginal people are not treated with dignity and respect, but as a problem to be controlled. And the worst, most blatant example of this approach has been the Northern Territory intervention that imposed draconian measures on our people that included the compulsory acquisition of Aboriginal lands, the imposition of an income management regime, and the winding back of the Racial Discrimination Act.
I myself have stood in segregated queues in Alice Springs where they set up a queue just for the people that have got basic cards, which over 90% of the people on the basic card are Aboriginals.
We have the voices of people at the grassroots telling us how they have been disempowered, telling us that they're incredibly disillusioned. Now, when the Rudd government came into power, they promised a new approach. Instead, they have adopted the same pattern as the Howard government. Aboriginal people in the Northern Territory deserve to be partners with governments in determining their futures. Thank you.
We're strongly opposed to any extension of the intervention in the Northern Territory and the Stronger Futures legislation, which will extend that for a further 10 years.
This is legislation which targets Aboriginal people, which says if you're black, the police can enter your house, they don't need a warrant. If you're black, the police can grab you and force you to answer their questions. If you're black, the police can send you to jail for 6 months for having a single can of beer. They're trying to legislate the intervention for another 10 years. We will fight them for as long as it takes. Tens of thousands of people around Australia have signed that petition. They know what Stronger Futures represents. It's apartheid in modern day Australia. Now it's time to actually take that movement, confront the government head on and bury these laws for good.
They say close for the gap. The gap hasn't even begun to close.
Shame on this government. End the intervention and end it now.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.